Hi guys, my name is Shad.
My name's Rita, and this is
Almost there. Welcome back. And before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe. Look at all the links in the bio where you could go to Spotify, you can go to Apple, and you can listen to the whole version there. We're also on Instagram at
ALMSD there.
Say it with us. And that's it. Keep watching. Today, we're talking
About?
love. Well,
I don't know.
before love.
Rishta.
Rishta making. Was this like prior to them becoming rishtas?
Finding rishtas.
Finding rishtas.
Yeah.
And this is not first-hand knowledge because we
No.
both took the route
Of not rishtas.
of no rishtas. But you had a little
Technically-
bit of... Didn't you have a little bit of like
Rishta?
no, like biodata stuff?
Yeah, like I had a little bit, but I think we talked about that before, but basically my dad was encouraging me to have a biodata. A biodata is, for people who don't know, it's like a resume
Yeah.
of your family, of your work,
Of you, everything you love.
your hobbies.
Yeah.
Like those sort of things. And so
Wait, so like how it basically works is each person has a biodata and they exchange this biodata with your potential match to be like, hey, do you like this person? Do you not? It's like a dating profile, but like on steroids about you and your family.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's very specific. Like they
Yeah.
sometimes even want to know what the parents, like what their profession is, and if it can go to like grandparents, like it's a whole thing. So that's how they like
Sorry, they do like eye color and stuff
Oh,
too,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
physical stuff too, and then also like education, job, everything.
yeah. Like I've seen in some of the like the biodatas that you see randomly like online when they're like making fun of it.
Yeah.
It says like fair
Yeah.
and like brown eyes and
I've
like
seen
whatever,
that too.
whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like a resume for your potential kids. Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
like you're choosing your egg or your sperm donor.
Maybe that's why they do it.
I'm sure they do, because it's like you're, like, that is the next step. Like, after
Yeah.
you get married, you're supposed to have babies, so then you want to have, like,
You want to make sure.
your partner is, like, at par, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we're kind of racist and stuff. Like it's fine.
I don't know about that.
There's a lot of colorism.
There is a lot of
a
colorism.
lot
100%.
of that. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why they ask of
Within
those
our
things.
culture, for sure.
So they try to ask those things, and then I think also then there's the next part of it, which is where they actually see the potential bride or groom at the bride's house.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, so we're gonna just talk about a little bit about what we know from that. Okay, so
Or the lack of what I know, because I don't really know much about it. I've never really seen... I've seen the aftermath, like, of,
Yeah.
like, when a mama's boy marries a girl, and, like, how the mom's, like, always
yeah.
lingering around. But I haven't seen, like, the prior Rishta side.
What do you think about mama boys?
Mama's boys?
Mama
Mama boys.
What? So, what do you think? Don't we love
Mama boys?
Mama boys? Mama's boys.
Maybe you need coffee too.
No, I'm gonna try to reduce my. I don't
Great.
even know what I just said. I'm like, I'm running, I'm trying it.
We were saying Mama's boys. I like them to an extent. Like, I like them to the point where the kid just respects their mom, but I don't like it where the mom acts like their kid is their husband. Because that quite happens quite a bit. You know?
Yeah.
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 Also, we're not laughing because we, like, know somebody like this. We're just
No.
laughing because we're just
At
fucking
ourselves.
delusional right now.
But
what do you think about mama boys?
So, ew, we're giving sus, like as if we know someone. Like there's no one we know. Like literally no one. No, from what I've understood about Mama's boys,
yeah,
the boys obviously, you know, they really love their mamas. There is the respect aspect of it, but there's also the, like, there's no boundaries there, right? Yeah. That's the problem. That the boys also treat their mom like their wives, essentially, right? And then the it's like you have to choose between the mom and the wife.
So what do you think the order should be? Because they always ask, like, the husband, like, if it was between you're in a burning building and you have your mom, your wife, and your kid in there, like, in which order are you saving them?
Why does there have to be an order?
Well, that's the question.
We all should come together, find each other, and go, caw, caw. I would do it, but my dad's sleeping, so then you find each other through calls.
Okay, but in this situation,
and then the husband takes all of you. Okay.
So who should it be first? Okay, let's throw out the burning building thing, because I feel like old people, you go for the old people. Yeah, like, who comes first? Like, mom, wife, or daughter? Like, put them all in order.
I think your kid should always come first.
Interesting.
Because I wouldn't be able to live with myself if you didn't try to go help the kid.
But so I'm being selfish. Our partners would say you go first.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, continue. Yeah.
Yeah, but kid, I'd just say, honestly, I'd say everyone but me.
Really? But that's not how it should be.
What do you mean? Are we dying right now?
No, you're not dying.
We're not dying.
There's no death involved.
We're all alive.
Everyone's alive. It's just priority-wise. Like, what priority should they go in?
What is most important?
Yeah, like, what should like, tomorrow, his mom said, I need you to come move the house. Then your wife says, I need you to come move my office. Oh. And then the kid says, Dad, I need
to move out.
Yeah. I'm done with all of this. Or the kid says, come to my violin practice. What order should it go in?
I think it depends on the situation.
Oh my god. Let's move on.
Okay, what do you think? Because mine is so, like, annoying.
No, I think it should be, like, technically, the order it should go in is, like, your family and then, like, the extended, right? Because then it becomes, your family becomes, like, your wife, the core. And kid. Yeah, your wife and kid. So you would do, I think it should be kid, wife, mom. Or at least, like, mom and wife should be at the same level. Mm-hmm. But I don't think, like, it should be the other way around. Because then it's like you have your own life, and then your mom goes, oh, drop everything for me, and then he runs there. That's a little wild.
Yeah. I'd be like, let's do violin first.
Then let's move me
then
out.
We'll move my office, because that's easier than moving the house. And then we'd find a time, and then he'd be like, shut the fuck up. Okay, anyways, we're talking about rishtas.
Yeah, let's talk rishtas.
Okay. First of all, so you don't have any personal, like, you haven't heard of anything, you haven't, okay.
Nothing that, like, pre-rishta stuff. Mm-hmm. That's not something that I've seen.
Yeah. Okay. So someone I know, who you know too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Basically when the person who she was gonna get married to came to their house, the bride's house, okay?
To set up the rishta.
Yeah, to, like, see vibes, you know, that sort of stuff.
Scope each other out.
Yeah, so they, when they went to the bride's house, the groom's mom asked her to walk in the hallway. And she did this as a test to see if, like, she can walk properly
I still don't understand that. Like, I still don't get it. Like, to check if she's, like, limping? Is that what it is? Yeah. And then if there's any,
like, if there's any difficulty.
And if she was, they'd say no?
It'd probably be no. Wow. This was a while ago. But
yeah, this is, like...
I've heard things still happen, though.
Like that?
Yeah.
Can we clarify how long ago? Like, not to the
This
year.
was like
over 30 years ago.
Over 30 years.
Yeah, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
But it's wild. I do think things like that are still happening because they are showing it in the shows and stuff. So I feel like it comes from somewhere. And I feel like also sometimes when they show things in shows, like people feel like justified to do it to their families. But yeah, that is crazy.
Also, I heard that someone else that I heard about, basically this potential match came with their family to like check them out and stuff. And then they were talking, everything was fine. And then at some point, the potential mother-in-law was like, can you please close the curtains? She's in the girl's house. And she's like, can you please close the curtains? And apparently she did that so that she could check if she can move her hands properly.
And this is a long time ago, too?
This was not that long ago now.
Like,
and no, I don't think anyone has ever heard of the bride's family asking the groom to do something.
But I do think they sometimes have like crazy expectations for the groom too.
For like doctors and like
or just like property. How much you're making.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I think that's one thing I've heard more of is like the groom is like examined like crazy, where it's just like, how many businesses do you own, how much money are you making, like can you, which is valid, this question, can you support her family? You don't necessarily, I guess you do need to know that. It's a part of the process with like arranged marriages to know those things. But yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder if this happens with like love marriages too. I'm pretty sure it does, right? Like I think like it wasn't a part of the culture, so I think maybe they'll be even more skeptical or even more like judgmental even if they were love marriage, because now it's like you're held to like, you're already objecting what we want for our kid, and now on top of that you have to be like above and beyond, you know? Yeah. But that is crazy. Can you imagine being like to somebody like, can you just move the curtain so I can see if your arms work?
Bro, you're coming to my house and you're telling me to fucking close the curtains?
Yeah. And
for like your test and not because it's for your comfort of like blocking the sun. Like, I don't understand. I'd honestly, okay, how would you actually respond?
I'd do it. Like, knowing me, I would do it with like attitude.
And like you would know like, okay, this is a no.
Yeah. I would do it with attitude. I'd be like, okay. Yeah. And then I'd do it, but I would still do it. Because we've just not been taught to be like, say to their face, like, because they're still like an elder to you, right? If he said it to me, that'd be a different story, I think. I'd be like, what do you mean? Like, I just make a joke out of it?
Yeah.
But if his mom said it to me or his dad said it to me, then I think I would like...
But you're thinking of your current relationship.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're talking about like someone random who's kind of comes to you.
If somebody randoms... Cool. I don't think in my current relationship anybody would ever do that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if a random person saw me, like, if the guy's the same age as me, or similar to my age, right? So I think I'd have, like, more of a, like, more balls to just be like, what? Like, are you being dumb? Like, I'd laugh about it and, like, make a joke about it. But if it's, like, a mom or, like, a dad, I think out of respect, I wouldn't, like, I'd just be like, okay. Like, I wouldn't make a comment about it. I'd do it. But with, like, you'd be able to see it on my face that I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be an immediate... No, I don't know. Because I feel like if you're put in that situation, you're in that situation for a reason, right? Like you can't just use that one time as like an absolute no. Because what if the guy was amazing?
Oh, you wouldn't use that?
Yeah, I don't know. Because what if the guy's amazing and it's just the mom's just wild?
I don't know. I think it would be a pretty big red flag for me.
Fair. Because that's the rest of your life.
And, like, these people are going to be surrounding us forever. I think the family that you're going into is going to be your family now. And for me to be surrounded by an energy that would think that that's okay, that's not okay for me. Because then you're, like, in... You know what happens is, like, for what I think is that, like, you're in either the potential husband's ears all the time saying stuff
like, oh my god,
she doesn't even care, like, remember when we tried to do this and like she gave us so much attitude or whatever the hell, and it continues, right? It goes into like the kids and like stuff like that. So like I don't know, I would take it in like you know, if the guy stood up and was like, she doesn't need to do this, like it's fine, you know, obviously. then we're good.
Then let's get married. Then,
yes. But yeah, no.
I'm just trying to think, like, if I was in that situation, I'd be in that situation because of, like, I don't know. Like, are we thinking...
But I get it, in that moment, you're probably just like... I might be doing that too, where I'm just like, whatever.
Or it's just like, or you don't
even
like,
think about it.
Yeah,
you don't even think about it. You just do it, and then afterwards, you're like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah,
like it could be that too.
Because I'm just thinking of our moms, like when those things were happening. Like, I'm not saying those things happened to our moms. I'm just saying like when they were having rishtas and stuff like that. I don't think they had the liberty to be like, oh, because his mom said that, it's a no for me. You know, like I don't think that was an option for them. So I'm just thinking if we were in that situation, I think we'd be similar. Like now it's very different, but I don't think we would be in relationships or attract people who said those things. I don't think our parents would even put us in situations where like somebody could say that to us and it'd be okay. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is quite crazy. But it is funny. Like, you do see, like, those are the people who, like, when you invite your in-laws over, like, not you, but people invite their in-laws over and, like, they're, like, checking the dust on the table. And, like, they're, like, checking, you know, those are the moms who are checking all that stuff.
That's so scary.
Oh, did you clean today? It doesn't look like it. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen that on, like, movies and stuff.
Next time we're just going to be in a restaurant.
No, really.
In the future, we're only going to restaurants.
Or let's go to their house.
Yeah. Let's just, because I'm not dealing. Okay.
That's funny.
I'm originally from Bangladesh, living in Japan.
I want to give them context, like, where this is from.
This is from Reddit. This is from Reddit.
It's like a story of
no one sent us anything. We like should do that. Like if we were to put it on Instagram where we're just like, guys, send us your like dilemmas or like whatever the fuck.
We can ask questions. Maybe our friends will ask us questions. That could be a thing.
We literally have to text them.
Q&A. No, but we should put it on our story. Video. Maybe. No, we'll put it on our story, our Instagram story. But anyways, this is from Reddit, and you're getting a certain... I need to react to them. Is it like, am I the asshole, or am I just reacting?
No, it's just reacting. I think it's just like conversation bits.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. I'm originally from Bangladesh, living in Japan. I have no problem talking to men introduced by friends or relatives. But making a biodata and distributing it to matchmaking aunties who would probably show it to strangers is something I'm very uncomfortable with. I just dislike the idea of exposing my photo and personal information for getting judged by people. I feel they would form opinions about me based on social status, background, and family as well as my looks. In South Asian marriage biodata, family members, aunties, uncles, and grandparents' profession are often included. I can't accept that my grandfather's profession would play a role in deciding my worth as a companion. It makes me feel objectified.
Oh.
It is almost undignifying. I'm not sure why I have such an aversion. Probably because I do not fit in the standards of a good girl in my community. I'm already 32. Almost expired for marriage in my community's standards.
Oh my gosh.
Agnostic and not a virgin. But I'm starting to feel arranged marriage is the only way I can find a partner, but I am unable to go through the process.
Facts.
That's crazy.
I feel like if I was in the same situation, I agree.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you actually find people after a while, like, or whatever? Even if you're dating, it's hard to find people.
It's hard. And it's like also the whole dating process, like even if you're, first of all, meeting people through people is so freaking hard. Like I've told you this before. Yeah. If I was single right now, like meeting people through my friends would be impossible because my friends are all in relationships. Like everybody has a partner, you know? And I think it's just in general, like dating right now is a shit show. So I feel like you just feel hopeless, like everywhere you go. You're not meeting people in
She's a noisy girl out here.
But you're not meeting people in person. You're like, the dating pool isn't that great. And then this whole thing. I agree. Like having a biodata resume to get married is wild. Like why do you need to know what my grandfather... I don't know what my grandfather did. Why do you need to know what my grandfather did? Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And was my parent, like, how much my parents make have anything to do with you and me? My parents are not going to support us.
Facts.
Well, they will, but if we needed it. But, like, it's not, they should not be, what they do should not impact how our lives are going to go.
Yeah. I can't imagine. Also, to be seen as, like...
expired.
Yeah.
It's like you're an item.
So crazy. Yeah. It's very real.
It is very
like,
real.
In the Desi community, it's very, very real for that to happen. Or, like, even the fact of, like, you know, if you're not the ideal girl in that community or whatever it is, then you are backtracked. Like, you're not looked at as for whatever. Sure. Like, it's not a...
It's so true. And I catch myself sometimes being like, also, when people are like, oh... she isn't married yet, or she's having a hard time, like, finding somebody, or she just broke up, like, you know, in that kind of community. I'm like, oh, how old is she? And I have to catch myself to be like, that doesn't matter, but that's just how it has been up until this point, right? And obviously it's something you have to, like, unlearn, because her age has nothing to do with, like, her ability to be a good person, a good partner, a good mother, like, any of that. But it is just how... the community unfortunately is. And that's not putting a blanket statement on everybody, because it's not like that for everybody. There are people who are still getting married at 40, 35, whatever. But it's just like, that is the reality of it, unfortunately. Yeah, she's not alone. I think everybody in that kind of situation feels that way.
I've, you know, like, recently I've been following someone on Instagram, and she got married when, I think she got married pretty early in life. She was with this person for 10 years, and then they got married, and then, like, shit happened and things changed, and they got divorced within a year. And now she's, like, 31 or something like that, 31, 32, and going on dates and stuff like that. And she's just talking about her experiences. And it's so, like, it's so inspiring to watch, but I can't imagine, like, how much of a backlash she got from community, from like her peers too. And, you know, it just makes me think, like, people think, oh, you know, when you're getting married in your early 20s, or you're getting married and you're, like, at a specific time, that's the ideal time to get married. That doesn't mean anything. You can get divorced within, like,
whatever,
a few months of that. You know, life can change completely. So, like, we put, like, I think a lot of us, like, put a lot of pressure on getting it done by a certain time, so that, like, you know, we don't have to deal with the pressures of society or whatever. But, like, it also changes. Like, even for us right now, like, we could be, like, going down a certain path in life. It's probably going to change. Like, some aspects of it will probably change, right? And, like, looking at people and being like, oh, she has such a great life, or he has such a great life, and everything works out so well for them and stuff like that, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Because things change so quickly.
Yeah.
So...
there's this one girl, I don't know if you've heard of her. I think I've told you about her before. Her name is Naomi. Have you seen her? She used to live in Canada, and she was, like, I think she was, like, kind of successful here, and she turned, like, 30. But she wasn't, like, a massive influencer, but she's always wanted to be an influencer. But she was, like, what are they called? Like, micro creators, I'm guessing. Like, I think that's what she was, a bit above that. I think it's just, like, you can make, like, you get brand giftings, you can make some money, but you're not, like, a micro-influencer. I don't think you're a massive, like, big-time influencer.
Okay.
But one of her biggest dreams was to move to LA, and she eventually did that, like, last year. Mm-hmm. And so since she's moved to LA, she's, like, I guess found that because in Canada there isn't that much of competition with influencers, I guess because... like, one, she had already built her brand here, and then also she had already, like, I guess in Canada not a lot of people are fighting for the same spot because you don't get a creator fund in Canada, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not important. Her influencer life is not important. But now she's created a channel called Naomi Dating Diaries, because she is like, I am beautiful, but I'm not the ideal body type. I'm not the ideal, like, face of what, like, I think people find beautiful. And she talks about how much she struggles with dating, and how much, like, there's so much loneliness in that too, of just, like, also keep in mind she just moved to LA by herself, and as much as you have friends or whatever, like, she's like, my friends are getting married, like, I have so many friends getting married, I'm going to all these weddings, and it's like, as much as I want to be happy for my friends, it's also such an isolating feeling, just being like, my plus one's my mom. And she's like, I love my mom, but it's just like, it's so defeating that like she's my plus one, you know? And like I think that's something that we forget too. It's like the single life is fun, and the single life is like you have fun when it's going great and you're meeting people and people like you, but it is very different when you are surrounded with people who are like at completely different stages in life, and you love them, and it's so isolating. And I think that's what our culture as well is not very nice to. Like our culture is not very like gracious to that. It's not, I think we kind of forget as a whole overall that like age is just a number, and it doesn't identify, or it doesn't like she said, it's not like you're expired after you turn 30, you know? And it's not that easy. Like you can't, and I will say to our culture, they've given us a lot more freedom, which we deserved in the first place, but they've given us a lot more freedom, and I think the freedom has taught us a lot more and given us more like options, right? Like we now know what we like and what we don't like. So tomorrow if I decide I want to get married, it's not going to be like I can just choose someone from the street and then get married to that person. It's very different. So yeah, it's hard.
It's hard finding your people in general, whether that's dating or your friends or whatever. It's hard.
But there's also so many success stories in arranged marriages too, though.
100%.
Like, as much as there are those people who tell you to walk across the room or do this and that and the other, like, successful marriages still come out of it. Because at the end of the day, it is the two people who are in love and who make the life for themselves. And our parents are really, really good representations of that. Not saying that it was easy all the time, but they both have, like, come through and gotten through a lot together. And they're still so strong and so in love. It's crazy. It is so crazy that they fell in love.
I don't think it's about falling in love. I think it's about working hard in love for them.
Yeah, but like
they have worked. You don't like. I don't think it was for us. It was like you have time to kind of like figure each other out and stuff like that. But they also had. In the beginning, I think is the same for your parents, but like in the beginning of your marriage, you're going through real life shit.
Yeah.
So you work, I think for them, it wasn't like, oh, let's go on dates. And like,
no,
they didn't even have the funds to do so, you know?
Yeah.
Or like they were just like struggling. And so I think they worked hard in it. And that's like love can be defined as so many things. For them, that's what it was.
Yeah. But what I mean also, though, like, there's, after all of that, like, they did struggle for a very long time. But then once things calm down and you've created a peace for yourself, you also start to realize, like, sometimes people are through things because they go through things together because it's comfortable. And they go through things together because they need somebody to rely on. But once you've come out of it and it's peaceful and normal, it's very easy to just be like, to separate yourself a little bit, right? Because it's like you went through it with that person, but then if you don't have a connection or you have no like, you don't bond or you don't connect with each other, I'm sure it's so easy to just be like, okay, like let's start distancing ourselves a little bit because I don't know you like that, you don't mean like whatever. Because they literally went from strangers to being married, right? And I think you're right, they obviously worked towards it, but I just think it's like such a magical thing. Sorry, woo-woo, but I think it's such a magical thing that, like, you can see that our parents love each other. Like, you can. And I've always said, like, no matter what, like, I want a marriage like my parents. And that's a lot to say for two people who were strangers and, like, they just got married.
Yeah, for sure.
And they didn't love each other at the beginning. Because they didn't know each other. They were probably just attracted to each other, but they didn't know any more than that. And there's so much more to life than that. And now they've been married for, like, my parents going on 30, your parents going on 35. Like, that's a long freaking time.
Yeah.
And they always say, like, you know, so many people get married for, like, 20 years and then they get divorced. And some people are like, oh, that's so sad. But if you really think about it, like, having 20 years of a successful marriage, like, that is a win in itself.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just we put so much, like, so much pressure on ourselves to...
Yeah.
Like, even if you have... Think about, like, how many people have come and gone from our lives, right? But you've tried to make it work with... Sorry. probably went really far away from the mic. But like you've tried to make it work with this one person for, let's say it was 10 years and you still didn't, like, maybe you didn't end up married with this person or whatever. You tried so hard, and that person probably tried too. Maybe they didn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, you gave it your all. That's success.
Yeah.
To be able to like continuously do something even though it's not fully working out or whatever, you did what you could. There's nothing else that you can now give to this relationship.
Yeah. I think there's just so many things that, like, as humans, we're like, this is how life should be, and when things are very different, we just like beat ourselves up about it. But like, it's okay. But I get it too. Like, there's this one girl, I was just listening to a podcast today that I listen to all the time, Armchair Expert. And when I first listened to her, when she said it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. But then I kind of get it. So she's been single. She's 36 or 7, something like that. And she's very content with being single. She's obviously dating, but she's very content. She's very successful with her podcast. She buys herself whatever she wants. She's very successful and very rich in life. In general, not like money wise, which she is, but also in everywhere else. She's rich in relationships. She has like little kids that like fulfill her like aunt love, that kind of stuff. I was gonna say, she has like kids. No, okay. So she does. She froze her eggs. There's a lot of stuff. Like obviously, all of that includes emotion and everything like that too. But today, I was listening to her on the way here, and she was like, "Yeah, like my best friend her kid had a birthday." And then after that, another one of our friends just had a baby. And I went to go see this kid's birthday. And I went to go to this, meet this baby for the first time. And I put a lot of money. And she loves giving gifts, right? She's like, I put a lot of money into it. And she's like, giving gifts is my love language, right? But it just feels kind of like every time I do it, not every time, but sometimes when she sits down and she thinks about it, she's like, I feel as if like, I'm putting so much into the relationships around me, but I'm never going to get any of that back. Right? And when I first thought about it, I'm like, you're giving them gifts. Like, you should be giving gifts to people you love. If you don't want to give them gifts, you don't give them gifts, right? Or just budget your gifts. It's not that serious. But when you do think about it, like, it is something that's sad. And it is somebody who, like, if you're by yourself, like, it is something to, like, think about, right? When it's just, like, it's, like, all this stuff that I'm investing in other people to enrich their lives. Like, when I get a promotion, nobody, like, celebrates me. There's no party for when I get a promotion. And, yes, having a baby is a milestone, but getting a promotion is a milestone, too. But it's my milestone, but just because I live by myself or I have my own thing, like, nobody's gonna celebrate that with me. And when I thought about that, I'm like, that is so true. And that is something, like, I don't know, we all just take everything for granted.
We do.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
How did I get here? Anyways.
But that's all. We hope this, I don't know. Well,
we talked about everything.
Yeah.
But Rishtas, guys, don't shut the door on arranged marriage. It's not a bad option. Just protect yourself and do your due diligence.
Yeah.
When you do it.
I think, like, if you can do your due diligence and not just leave it up to parents or anyone in your family, I think it's better you got to do what...
Sorry. I was like, who? Sorry, somebody messaged me something saying, who is this? And I'm like... What? I'm like trying to see who it is at the same. Sorry, that was so bad. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
You were saying
the parents. You can't just leave it up to like the parents or your family or your friends or whatever. Like you have to do your own due diligence. Like this is your life, the rest of your life, right? Yeah. Your partner makes a big difference in your life, so you just got to do what you got to do. But let us know if we can help with our investigative. Like she's an investigator.
I am an investigator.
Yeah, she knows.
I'm not that great, but it's fun. I can try.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to get involved with your family stuff, though. So.
Okay, yeah. Never mind. Take it back. I take it back.
Unless I know you. Actually, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. Depends on how bad the situation is.
Yeah. If it's rough.
Yeah. Then maybe just call the cops. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, subscribe. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple. And follow us on Instagram at
ALMST there.
Thank you so much for being here. Ta-ta!